Hello friends, we're going to talk about doing a cube today, and we are going to do a 2-point cube. I will briefly touch on a 1-point cube at the end, but you are expected to draw a 2-point cube, and you're going to do highlights, you're going to do midtones, core shadowing, reflective light, and cast shadow. Once you're done drawing it, you are going to draw an object around the house that is a cube shape. And that could be a book, an eraser, a pencil sharpener, dresser drawers. You choose what you want to do. I did my sketchbook here as my little drawing. And I have, you guys saw in the time-lapse video of me drawing a 2-point cube. But let's draw one and let's illustrate it. So we're going to start here, fresh and new, on my piece of paper. You want to use some kind of straight edge. It could be just a regular piece of paper or a ruler. And this is really not bad, but the problem that people have a tendency to do when they draw anything in perspective is they just assume where the lines go to, and you can't assume anything. So I'm going to draw a straight line across. Try to make it as even as possible. And this is our horizon line. On this horizon line, we are going to have 2 points. We're going to call it VP1. And over here is VP2. And somewhere maybe about 2 to 3 inches down, or 2.5, you are going to draw an 1.5 inch vertical line, somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be a little bit more, just a straight vertical line. Now after this, I want to keep my lines fairly light. So I began all of this with an HB, a number 2 pencil. Now I'm going to switch over to my 2H or my 4H pencil. It's up to you. You want to keep your marks very light right now. And I might have to draw a little bit darker so you can see what I'm doing. But let's begin here. So I have my 2H, and I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to put it on the corner of the vertical line, and I'm going to line it up with VP1, and I'm going to go back to that point, and I'm drawing fairly light, and I'm going to do that on the top of that vertical line. So you can see it. And I think I will have to draw a little bit darker so you all can see it. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Keep your lines light. I'm making my darker so you can see it. Back to VP2. Top and bottom of that vertical line. All right, so far makes sense. You've probably done this somewhere along the line. Then what you're going to do is you are going to drop a parallel line here that is parallel to this center line. So I'm actually just going to line my ruler up, and I want to make sure it's even. So I'm going to just draw a straight line down so you can see that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. A vertical line that is parallel to the center. And parallel, they never touch, kind of like railroad tracks. They're opposite of each other. They never cross. All right, so we're going to go up here on the right hand side. You see this little point here, and I'm going to darken it up just a little bit so you can see. This point we're going to put our ruler on, and we're going to go back to VP1. And go back, and we'll do the same thing so you can see that. Over here to the opposite side. Now, so there it is. So there's our lovely cube. We got it. It looks fabulous. Let's just quickly talk about a 1-point cube. And, well, no, we'll wait on that. Sorry, I got excited. So we got to think about where our sun is coming from. So our sun is above here. Feeling pretty good. We can now erase our guidelines that we used. So we're going to erase those guidelines. probably wiggling the camera, and I do apologize. But at least now you know where those lines come from, and it's good to keep that all in perspective. So now we need to start drawing this or shading this out. So of course, what would be the first pencil that we'd start with? Miss Hawker, we want to start with our 4H pencil. All right, so we're going to start with our 4H pencil. So the light is coming down here. So this is going to be our highlighted area, but no matter what, we want to have just a soft little edge here. Not very much. We're going to just softly, lightly blend it out with, this is our 4H, and this is pretty much the only time we're going to use it, right here on the edge. Now, I probably want to clean that corner up just a little bit more. Kind of get that. Oh, I went and got crooked there. Oh, wow. Miss Hawker got a little wily. All right. I'm not going to do much more than that because we know that this is going to be our highlighted area. Now, what would be the next pencil that we'd go to? Our 2H. Yes, our 2H. Now, remember, as we're shading this, our sun is here. It's shining down, just a hint of a little bit of light here. This side is going to be somewhat shadowed, but not completely. So we are going to start with our 2H, and we're going to shade this whole block. And this would be kind of our mid-tone area. Starting to build up some of those mid-tones. The light would still creep around the edge here. Now, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going for my 2B. So here we go on my 2B, and I'm starting at this corner and working my gently across. Maybe got a little wily, too dark there, but we can work that out. And you can see I'm not really carrying, I'm going over the edge there. That's how it's going to be much darker, so I'm not really worried about the marks I'm making as I cross over. I do want to get this to kind of blend in, so I am softly lifting. And that's why we did that gradation of value, is just to kind of work on our pencil control. All right, so that feels pretty good for our getting some of our mid-tones down. Now what we need to do is we need to darken up that area there. And so we're going to go to our 4B, and this is going to be a little bit trickier here. I am going to really get dark around here, and then I'm going to slightly lighten up. And that is going to give us our core shadows. So I am going to just initially... It is really challenging. I have a new respect for anybody who does draw along videos, because I just have this little arm that clips in my phone to make these videos, and I just have to kind of peek around it. It's very awkward. So I'm sorry if my videos are not the greatest. I do my best. I feel like I am getting better at it. So this distant learning business has been a challenge for all of us. Hopefully my videos you find helpful, and hopefully you've already improved your skills in terms of shading objects. I love the 4B pencil. 6B as well, but 4 is so magical. You can get that halfway in between the light values and the softness of the lead. It's so fun to draw with. And then you can really dig deep and go to the dark side with it. All right, you can see how I've got this little bit of a lighter halo happening. So now I'm going to start to press a wee bit harder. Sharpening my edges there. And on this side here, I'm going to go back to my 2B, and I am just going to kind of tighten up that edge a little bit. And that feels pretty good. I am going to take my blending stump. The blending stump really helps to smooth out and add continuity. We don't want to overblend. I think there I got a little overzealous, but I think it's okay. All right, so now we need to talk about the cast shadow. And so our sun is here, and I am going to use my ruler because I think it'll be helpful. Is that when I'm doing this, I just want to have this line come out and kind of extend beyond. I know that my sun is here. So no matter what, though, the angle, we want to shoot this out here at this angle, the corner, keeping our ruler on our vanishing points. And then however tall or where the sun is in the day, it could be a short shadow, it could be a long shadow. Next time when you're out, look at your shadow and how it casts. You know, if you have a long shadow, is the light setting? Is it kind of a dusky? You can see how long. Or if it's midday, it's right above you, so you have this short little puddle around you. So that's what's fun, and it's kind of like a Bob Ross moment. You can determine if you want a short shadow or a long shadow. It's your world, and you can create it, so do what you want here. I'm going to make mine a medium shadow. I'm going to stop it right there. Oh, isn't that lovely? Happy little box we got going on here. Happy little cube. And now I'm going to grab my 6B, and I am going to go along my edge here and darken that up. And we are getting our cast shadow in. We are going to the dark side with Darth Vader and Darth Maul. I know I'm such a weirdo when it comes to Star Wars. So I am digging deep. And then as we cast out, I'm kind of lightening it up, going back over. This area is going to be the darkest spot. Now I'm going to grab my blending stump. And I'm going to pull out I probably did this too early. Well, I'm human and I make mistakes too. I probably should have dug in a little bit deeper there. So there is our 2-point cube. Let's briefly talk about a 1-point cube. So I'm going to make just a simple little box here. A 1x1 square. And when we think about 1 point, and we've had 2 here, we would just have a singular point off to our right, and of course there would be a vanishing point. And I take all the corners to that 1 point. We'd only see one side of the box, or we wouldn't see, here we see the top and both sides. We only see the top and one side. It is really important that you always go back to the vanishing point and that you always keep your lines parallel. So this line to box it off or to find the corner of it needs to be parallel. So I just want to make sure it's nice and straight and parallel to that corner. I need to do the same thing here. I need to do a parallel line to this front line, which actually becomes perpendicular because we create a 90-degree angle. So I just want to make sure that it is good to go. And there is our 1-point cube. And then you can erase those lines. So your assignment is to draw. I'm going to ask you to do a cube. And if you're really struggling with the 2-point, you may do a 1-point. But then you need to do one and add value to it. Once you're done with that, as a reminder, you need to, flip back. You need to find a household item and then shade it. So good luck. Use the force. Have fun with this. And look forward to seeing what you guys turn into me. Have a great day. Bye.